Yes, we are live.
Yes, we are live. That's it. We live.
Hello, everyone. How's it
Hi,
going?
everybody. How are you doing? My name is Mauri, and together with my partner Javier Viñas, we welcome you to this very first Product Bible live webinar. For us today is a very special day. We are very happy and excited to offer you this webinar along with our friends Cristina and Pedro from Bravo Studio. We want to start as quick as possible. We are looking forward to start and showing you everything we have prepared. So please stay tuned because we are convinced that you will love Bravo as much as we do. Before to start, we want to thank you all for joining us today. So thank you very much. Javi, do you want to
Yes.
say
Um,
something?
yeah, greetings from Madrid. And also, just to let you know, guys, we have some polls. Like a quick survey down below with some questions like what is your product role if you are into product management. Otherwise, you can choose the other option there. Let us know if you're a designer, a manager, product owner. Yeah, we have Solange. I don't know if I pronounced that correct, but super pumped about polls. Yeah, we need collect feedback from people.
From you, yes.
Exactly. And also we have a second question, like if you heard about Bravo Studio before. So that way, Christina, who would be the leading that part, that demo, she has insights as well. If she could go more technical or, lowering down a bit. And yeah, welcome
And
everyone.
And also use our hashtag Product Bible Talks in case you want
Yeah.
to share something about this webinar on your social media like Twitter or LinkedIn. And feel free to share.
Yeah.
And and that's it.
Yeah. If you
Javi,
if you have questions as well, you can use
yes,
the chat. We will cover them at the end of the webinar. But yeah, send it over because we could streamline the questions and write it down at the end. That's it.
so let's see
Things
to
off.
see the agenda. This is our agenda for today. I'm going to explain you in just 1 minute what is Product Bible. After me, it's turn for Javier. He will explain us a quick introduction of a no-code ecosystem and what is the ecosystem of no-code tools. After that, it's time for the Bravo people, Pedro and Cristina.
Mauri, sorry for
Uh,
interrupt. I don't see the screen, the agenda.
the agenda.
Yeah, I see the building MVPs like the cover. So
Oh yes, sorry.
yeah.
This is the.
Uh,
You can see now. Yes. Okay.
yes, it's Chase. Go for it.
Okay, this is the agenda. Okay, as I said before, then Pedro um, is going to ask questions and explain us what is Bravo and when did they start and why Bravo, and then the icing on the cake, the reason you are here today, the Bravo Studio demo. Okay, we challenged them days ago, and Christina Chen is going to create an Instagram-like app in just 30 minutes. So incredible! I guess you will love it. And finally, as Javier said before, we will answer all the pending questions that you may have. So, okay, so without further, let's go.
Yeah.
Let's start. Uh, what is Product Bible? Product Bible is a go-to repository for product people. It's a curated collection of books, articles, videos, even webinars like this. We hope from today we can start creating more webinars like this. And also we create a monthly newsletter in which you will find the latest additions to the Bible, so you can get informed. And why product Bible. When we started with Javier digging into the world of product on the internet, we realized that there is a huge amount of information about product, but there is no structure on that information. So we demanded a structure on structuring that info. So our first goal was to create a place to where to go and find answers as quick as possible. So this is why the product Bible is live today. And then this, I said before, I promised you just 1 minute to introduce product Bible. Now it's time to Javier. He will explain us the no-code ecosystem. So Javier, feel free to share your screen.
Okay, let me share my screen really quick.
What?
I believe, and now if you have to like focus on that, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Let me know if everybody can see now like full page, so full screen. Yeah?
Yes.
Okay. So thanks, Mari, for the brief intro of Product Bible. Now we're going to continue with the no-code ecosystem. But before we jump into that, I think it's very important to actually state or say what is the no-code movement and what it entails, actually. So this no-code movement, it's actually enabling users to build things without actually knowing how to code or how to program. It's about the rise of these, what we call citizen developers, and making technology more accessible to everyone. So democratizing the access in a way. And lastly, no code is about cutting down on time to value. So shipping things quicker and faster so we could iterate and create things much more quickly and learn from that. But yeah, no code it's about solving problems. Actually, maybe you are working in operations or marketing or sales, and on your day-to-day life, you will face challenges, and you probably have like better ways to tackle that and to actually solve those challenges. And no code helps you to accomplish that in a way. We will see the different areas and how no code can help you with that. But why now? Why the no code is on the rise? The first statement, it looks like very obvious, but now everyone or almost everyone has access to internet, which means that you could get information or browse tutorials, check info on Medium and get documentation and build your own stuff. It has never been easier to do that. The low barriers to entry in the no code, they are quite low because there is no technical expertise or background required. Some tools, they have steep learning curve, but it's harder to actually knowing how to program or coding rather than going into those tools and taking some tutorials, for instance. And also the rise of the startups, apps, and different software as a service has given the chance to these no-code tools to create these connections and help build things as well. The fourth item is lowering the cost of deployment and maintenance. And what I mean by that is traditionally you have to build your own infrastructure in cloud services as as Google Cloud or Amazon Web Services and so forth. With these tools, they take that from you. So you are dependent on those tools, but you don't have to keep the maintenance and deployment cost of that cloud infrastructure yourself. So that saves a ton of money and also mistakes as well. And lastly, the ecosystem is quite mature now, so this is given the opportunity to explore more tools that help you build whatever you think, whatever your idea is. And this is the slide that we decided to create here, to showcase what is the ecosystem right now. We see these three bubbles in a way. So you could have build on one side, build things such as landing pages, forms, apps, whatever. Then you could organize information, and here you could have like Notion on Airtable that are resonating quite a while right now. Retool as well for internal tools, building internal applications, and as well you could automate stuff or tasks with Zapier or Integromat or these ones that appear on the screen. Also, please let us know in the comments if you heard about any of those tools, if you use them as well. We're very excited, to understand if people know about this. What are the ways that you're using it, and we can discuss that, more in detail later on. And what we got here, right in the middle between build and automate, it's Bravo, and we categorize them here. Hopefully, we make that right, because they help build apps and as well streamline that automation part with connecting APIs and feeding that information and that database dynamically. Okay, so we're going to cover that later on with Pedro and Christina. But yeah, no code is not something new. It has been for quite a while with us, but it has evolved over the time. So it started with this Wizzy widget, Dreamweaver, and WordPress. Some of them, they are low code, so it requires a little bit of coding skills. But then new tools appear in the 2010s, like Shopify and Wix, and now they are more powerful and more like the new generation that are coming with all these, Webflow, Glide, and Bubble that helps you build, an infinite amount of websites, and they have tons of templates and resources. So we are all now in a great wave of creating products. Let's see some examples really quick. I don't want to get into like too detail, but let's say that we want to create a form for our site. And the approach that we usually take is, okay, we talk with our developers or programmers and say, okay, these are the fields that I want to take, and please, create all these design interface, then connect those forms. And it usually requires coding in a way, and the time to value, or the time to actually build those things is, I don't know, 7 hours roughly. Whether if you choose for the option 2, you hire someone that is multi-skill and know different, like they have different skills, and then go for an option with like Typeform, for instance, but there are others tools in the market, then the time to value decreases vastly. Like in less than 1 hour, you could have your form embedded in your site and with a slick interface. So this is one user case. But let's say another one that we want to collect or send these responses that we gather in Typeform or in another third-party tool and send it into a Google Sheets for then collecting insights and maybe analyzing the data that we have. So again, the option 1 is actually going to our developer or then data analyst and build that with code for ourselves, rather than maybe going for the option 2, which be Zapier, or again, you can pick whatever you want in that case. But the whole point of this is an automation task, and when something happens, which is the trigger, okay, a new entry is coming in, then I want to do this. So send the information to Google Sheets or whatever. And again, the comparison is quite obvious. You can have, time to value for the coding part 2 hours. The time to value for another option like that could be even like 5 minutes to set this up. Obviously, there are some caveats and limitations for all these choices, but we could, comment that on the questions and answers session. So no code is actually about moving fast, about learning fast, okay? And we think, that app development should be the same. So the design or the idea concept, usually takes a while, and then you send it over to development team, and those, help to make this successful, right? And make it feasible in a way. But these take time, and sometimes it takes a lot, from weeks to months. And these, the no code actually allow us to shorter the development cycles and reduce the time to validation. So we can go from design to development in a few, maybe weeks, or depending on the complexity of an app, of an idea. But this is where Bravo Studio, I think, comes in, and all these tools can help out, making this idea into reality in less time. So I think it's time to, join or invite, Pedro on the screen, and he could actually introduce us to what is Bravo.
Yeah, sure. I'm going to invite him.
I have to close the video now. Awesome.
Thank you, guys.
Yes.
Thank you.
Hello, Pedro. Thanks for coming.
Can you hear me well?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. So,
Yes.
yeah, well, first of all, again, thank you so much for inviting us and having us here today. It's super exciting, and it's always really good to hear a little bit of where all this movement is actually coming from, because often a lot of people that gets to hear about no code recently will think, okay, this is something new, but by no means it is. When we think of Wix or WordPress or Shopify, they have been there for years. They were the only ones in the space, so there wasn't really perhaps a need to define it with an actual name, and today is what we know as no code. So thank you guys for reminding us on that. So yeah, so today, of course, the main objective is to explain what Bravo is, Bravo Studio. Why are we actually building Bravo? It's not finished product, and hopefully will never be finished, because a lot of things are evolving, a lot of new features, functionalities that people want, and who actually is the type of user that uses Bravo Studio. And I wanted to briefly explain a situation where no-code tools came in handy in real life, in particular using Bravo Studio. So Bravo, to define it super quickly, is a tool that enables anyone to actually create fully native applications for iOS and Android without having to code or program a single line of code. We wanted to make something different, of course, because like we were discussing just now, a few tools, and we saw them in that graph that you showed earlier. We wanted to differentiate ourselves from app builders that are already available. Not just because we think ours is better. We're just taking a little different approach to what's available in the market. What we actually realized is that there was a massive gap in the market when it comes to a tool that lets you build a mobile application without any limitations in terms of design. The reason why I say this is because all of those other tools out there, or the great majority, which are great, by the way, they're really great tools for what they are in terms of the functionalities that you can achieve, but are very often limiting the user or the designer to actually picture and represent the actual idea that they had in their mind. And now more than ever, and it's only increasing from today, designers have a very important role when it comes to creating products or digital solutions. And not just from the UI or the actual visual design, but also the user experience. Yeah. And that can only be improved and achieved with no limitations in terms of design. And that's the actual main focus of Bravo. And what Bravo is actually offering the market is having a blank canvas and create the idea. Now, we didn't want to also build a complex editor that people would have to learn and go through a hard learning curve, like you were just saying. There's always a learning curve, but we wanted to reduce that even further by actually letting our users or designers use one of the best design tools in the market, like it is Figma. It isn't just super flexible, it's also free, which is very important to mention. And it is cloud-based, offering you amazing collaboration capabilities, especially today that most of us were working from home, right?
Yeah.
So we wanted to incorporate that to our tool, and that's what we did. So we integrated Figma design tool to Bravo. So basically, we just take advantage of being a cloud-based. So your project in Figma is going to be a URL that you just paste into Bravo, and voila, you have the actual mobile app ready. No programming needed. A matter of seconds instead of weeks and months, like you just mentioned, Javier. And only then it's just a few steps left to actually finish your application, which is to add that functionality or complexity that you need for your specific app by using other potentially no-code tools too. And there is where I actually mentioned something that I always will say. I think I said it the other day when we were having a chat, is that there is not a single no-code tool that is good on its own. It is when you connect more than one that they become super powerful.
Yeah.
And that's how I like to define Bravo in terms of what can I build with Bravo? Is it powerful enough? Well, it really depends on your creativity, your idea, and being able to spot or identify the set of tools that are going to allow you to connect to each other and create a final solution with them. That's the Bravo ecosystem, connecting things, and Bravo be the top layer, which is what the user is going to see and experience. So who is our user? Who uses Bravo today? So we have a very diverse type of persona getting into Bravo Studio. Very first is designers. Why? Because obviously by having to use Figma design and Figma being adopted by most designers today, I think there was survey, the design survey or design tool survey that came out just 2 days ago, where Figma just overtook Sketch in terms of usage. Last year it was very, very close. But it was obvious that it was going to take over this year, and this is what happened. So we're super happy about that, of course. Designers are really gonna take the most advantage of the tool today, especially if they're related to Figma. They already use Figma, but if you use a Sketch, it's not that big of a difference, and you can always export your projects from Sketch into Figma. There's plenty of plugins for that. So there's no stoppers if you're using a Sketch also. Then we have product managers, where they find the need in their departments, especially in enterprises, to be able to create solutions that they want to validate really fast without having to depend on developers. And this is actually not just saving time, it's saving a lot of money to companies, because The moment you bring something to a development team, the backlog is only going to increase. And probably it's not going to be done right away, but maybe in a week, in 2 weeks, depending on the backlog. So if a product manager has the power and the tools in hand, and definitely, I'm not saying that Bravo is a solution to every problem, but in most cases, you can validate things really, really fast. You could, if it's validated, go ahead and continue with Bravo. Or if you have a policy in your company where it says you have to develop it from scratch, like it would happen today in some cases in banking industry where they really need to have source codes and everything in hand. But that is actually changing as well, because we have had conversations with a few fintech companies that are very used at the moment, and they're already starting to use tools, no-code tools as well, for whatever reasons that or needs that they have. So then we have makers, and makers, I would define the persona as those that are curious about no-code tools and have no design career nor a technical background, and that's where I define myself.
I'm here too.
There you go. So it's super cool to be able to do what actually we're able to do more than junior developers and even than junior designers, because we already know which tools we can work and connect with together to create a digital solutions. We will be much faster. Mine especially will not look great because I'm not a designer, but it will solve the problem, which is, I guess, the
whole point of it.
The whole point of it.
Yeah.
And then we have freelancers and agencies. So freelancers can be combination of makers, designers, developers that are looking for an alternative way to make money, especially in today's situation worldwide. It was already a trend to become a freelance designer because they realize that they want to work in different projects all the time. And now they have tools to create end products, like, for instance, when it comes to mobile application, do a fully native application without compromising quality. But you're decreasing time and you're saving money because it costs less to produce. You're offering a great value, and potentially you can offer it at a more competitive rate. But doesn't mean that you have to sell cheap, because in the end you're selling the same thing. And that's really where we want to help freelancers or designers that want to make a side job, let's say.
Yep.
So going to finish right now with that particular case, I think I briefly spoke to you about Javier earlier this week, is during the lockdown at the very beginning, I wasn't able to actually get my favorite bread from a bakery, which is a bit more than a kilometer away. I wasn't able to reach that far because we weren't allowed to go that far. And I still was able to order, but I had to order through Instagram chat or through WhatsApp. And then I would get around 12 o'clock at night. I still have all the WhatsApp conversations and Instagram chats, getting a PayPal link to pay for bread, which it was a very small amount, and then get it delivered. It was such a headache. And I realized that I started thinking, because I got to know them a little bit more, family-run business, a couple with 2 kids. They had one on their way at the time. Now it's born. And they had to deal with all these orders through different channels without the CRM, no back of the house, manual invoicing with PayPal, a big mess. So I'm like, okay, I have the tools, I can help them. The day after, I created an app for them using Bravo, of course, because it's the one I know the best to use. I created a type form, which you mentioned earlier.
Yeah.
I integrated with Stripe. I embedded this type form in the app. I sent a screen recording of the app to the guy, and his first comment, and I have it as a WhatsApp image, there wasn't nothing else than the question, how much is this? So this
I could imagine he freaked out.
So this is because I had created a Google Sheets CRM where all the Stripe requests and everything would come all organized, get email notifications for him and the people that was making the order. you have such a power with these tools in hand that you don't have to break your head on thinking on the perfect idea. You have to focus on every time you face a problem or a process that you think that can be better. In most cases, no code can solve it. You just have to try to learn a little bit of the different tools that are available, have it as your stack. So your repository is amazing because the answer is there for most simple processes, but that can have a great impact. So there is a huge opportunity out there. So there is plenty of orders for Brett still today, going through that very simple app that could definitely look much beautiful. But since I did it, I'm still proud because it's solving the problem. And it's helping both the business and the people that want to order bread from. So this is a very simple case, but there is plenty of others that we have come across that we're actually helping, and it just keeps us going with what we're building.
Yeah.
So of course we can go to the other extreme where you do super crazy stuff, and I think Christina will show a little bit of that today. Like I said, I had not seen the app that she was gonna do today, so I'm really looking forward. So I'll pass it on back to you, and I think you can introduce Christina as well.
Awesome.
Pedro, just one question. What's on your horizon? What do you think the future? How do you see it?
For us or in general?
Yes, for us, for Bravo.
For Bravo,
yes.
Amazing. I mean, we don't really know. I mean, it's what is putting us in place is what the people are saying about us. It's not what we say or what we think. Definitely, we have our vision to be the to-go tool when you want to create a mobile application that you want it to look beautiful, and you can make a business out of it, or it can help your business. For whichever case it is, it can be an internal application for a company.
Right.
So we want to be the number one tool to build mobile applications for both iOS and Android. And it doesn't come from ourselves, but we did came across some people saying things like, "You just made me feel like I'm a programmer," or "Are you the next Webflow?" So this type of things, we are far from all of that, but it makes us realize what we're actually building. And sometimes we have to take a few steps back, polish what we're doing, and continue injecting new features, new technology, and new ideas to the tool. But of course, there is a big percentage of what we're building that is what our users are needing or asking for. Because we don't want to be, we know what we want, but we want to also be building what people need in their daily life. Yep. So yeah, very exciting times for sure.
Great. Yes. So to be the number one tool to build mobile apps is
it's a big statement. It's a bold one.
yes. So
that's super
so
cool.
Wow. Let's continue, Javier. We are going. Pedro, thank you very much. We are going now to invite Christina to join us and to show the power of Bravo.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Pedro.
Bye.
So let's invite Christina.
Yes. Christina, getting ready. It's your time, and you have almost like a half an hour, and even more if the people want to stay with us, because I think this is the break-in. Oh, there you go.
Hey guys.
Hi there.
Hi, Christina.
How
are you super pumped as we are?
I think now that Pedro has given you guys the inspiration from the idea side and the business and the project side, and now I can show you from the hands-on side, okay, exactly what you need to do to make those happen.
Cool. Super excited.
Cool. Sounds great.
Yeah.
You can share your screen, Christina, as you want.
I'll be going on mute just in case, there's background noise.
Alrighty. So the screens might be a bit, what I'm showing on screens might be slightly smaller because I've connected to my big screen. So let me know if you need me to zoom in to anything. All right, so without further ado, so now that Pedro explained the idea behind Bravo, the inspiration behind Bravo, what we want to achieve with the platform, what I can show you is what you can build with Bravo and how exactly to build it. I'm going to start with some examples of what you can build with Bravo. So this is what you see here. I have, these are apps that are current published apps that are made with Bravo. This is actually Yellow Bakery. This is the one that Pedro talks about. And this is what it looks like in case you were wondering what the app looks like. And essentially, what you can build is anything that is from a product side, a designer, creator side. What you can build is anything that is a combination of design and workflow. That is how Bravo works, and Bravo puts these two together. So, for example, this Amsterdam Spanish Film Festival app.
Christina, sorry for interrupt. There is some comments on the chat that says if you could do the screen bigger. Yes, please. A little bit bigger so they can. I think that should be. Well, that's full screen, isn't it?
Yeah, that's full screen.
Up to you. I mean, if you need to resize that. I think
because
should be
later
okay.
on, I will want you to fit multiple screens into this screen. So
right.
I can make this screen, I think this is a max that I could put actually.
Yeah. Thank you. I think that should be okay. Yeah. Yeah.
It should be, here we go. All right, I'll just do this third screen because then might.
Yes, that's awesome. I think everyone can see that now. Perfect. Carry on.
Awesome. It's okay. Yeah.
So this, just to show you, so for example, this combination. So this film festival app is a combination of this design and the workflow of retrieving content from the film festival catalog. That's the combination, and the creation is this app. Another example is this app. It allows you to calculate how much each person should pay in a group meal setting. And the combination is this design, of course, and all designs are created in Figma. This design plus the workflow of inputting numbers into a database, that database calculating it, and then retrieving the results. And that combination created this app. And I'll just go on with one more. This My Subscription Tracker, which is created by Pedro. It's a combination of this design and the workflow of inputting your subscription info, this screen, retrieving your subscription info, and deleting your subscription info. So then that's a 3 workflow, and that created this app. And so with this concept in mind, this is how Bravo can create all the apps for your business ideas, your project ideas. So how exactly do you then combine this design workflow? So there are 3 components to a Bravo app. One is, so I'm going to use the subscription tracker as an example. The first aspect, the first part is the Figma design. So I have the Figma file that's used to create this exact subscription app. You have the Figma design, and this is like the cake mold. It shapes the app, but it's empty. It's a prototype. And then you have the workflows, which are done with API requests that connect other tools to your app, which makes up the meat of the app and the main functionality. And slightly blurry, but this is a video tutorial of how you can build a subscription app, actually. And this screen is how you set up these API requests or workflows in Bravo, which I'll later show briefly in the demo. So this, you connect to your app within Bravo, to your design, to your UI, and that makes up the meat of your app. And then the last part are Bravo tags, which are, let me go back to the Figma file and focus in on one screen. If you look in the layers panel, I know it's a bit small, but I don't think I can increase the size of this. You can see that there are texts within brackets. There are all these text strings within brackets. These are Bravo tags. So they add certain functionalities and effects to your UI elements, to each individual layers of your Figma design. And they're like the frosting and the candles of your app. So putting all of these together, and you have essentially unlimited possibility of what you can create. Like Pedro mentioned, the main criteria for Bravo was that we want it to be super flexible. So the flexibility to make however you want, and the flexibility to connect to any other database or tool. You're not restrained by the data, the CRM, or the CMS that platform uses. You can connect it to Google Sheets, you can connect to Airtable, you can get the content from New York Times bestseller if you want to make a book app. So it's very flexible in that sense. And also, like what Pedro said, there's no right way of building your app or creating these combinations. Some just takes longer to set up the workflow, the design, the connection, and that might have a better user experience. Others are faster and doesn't have all the sparkles, but then you save so much time and money and effort and cost and stress. So with all this in mind, I will move on to the actual demo. So like you guys said earlier, you challenged us to build an Instagram app with Bravo Studio. Now, Instagram itself is a universe. So when you break it down, when you think about it, it has hundreds of individual functionalities. Just from the home screen, you have retrieve in workflow language, you have retrieving a feed, and you have like, and you have different states, like button, you have add comment, remove comment, archive a post, archive a post. So it's all that. Each of these are different workflows when you think about when it comes down to building an app. So what I created is something that we can do in a couple of days. And if you ask, can we build something similar to the full Instagram? Probably, but it would take sometimes some weeks or maybe months, but it's already amazing compared to years of development that it would normally take, which it has taken Instagram. And Bravo and the no-code space provides a super, like everyone has reiterated tonight that it provides a super fast way to build a product than traditional development. But it is not a teleportation device. It is still, I would say it's still a craft that you need to have a little bit of master in, especially with Bravo, with the flexibility that I mentioned earlier, and depending on the complexity of your app, complexity of your workflow. Okay, so now moving on to the actual app. I'm going to, let's make this smaller now and show you guys the app that I've created. So I don't know if I can make this, I'll make this bigger. Oh, can you guys focus on the left side of my screen? And then here is the Figma file. So I have my phone connected to my computer, and this is the Instagram-like app that I was able to create in a couple of days. So let me open it up. So what I'm opening up right now is Bravo Vision. Bravo Vision is our previewer app. It's basically the test environment for your app before your app goes live into publication. So while you're using Bravo, you're constantly using this app on your phone to check what the final result is. Because Bravo on your computer doesn't display the final results. It shows what the final experience on your phone. And whatever you see on your phone will be whatever the app experience will be in publication. So I will scroll through and show you what I've made. So you have your feed of photos and captions. And for each post, I can share the image. I just click on the airplane icon. I can add a comment. So if I click add the comment here. And let's see if it works. Oh, and there's a bug. Okay, so that's in theory how it works. So sometimes during webinars and during testing, you find bugs, and I have to go back into my API requests and workflow setup to link out. And then, but you can see that for each post, I have different lists of comments that are unique to the post. I have a horizontal scroll of a list of stories. And if I click on the first one, this is a web view of a story, but it's actually pretty close to the Instagram story experience. But this was super easy to implement. I'll show you guys how I did that. And then, of course, you can create a new post. So I go to upload an image, write a caption. That's it, please. Whoop. And upload. And here we have the new posts. And then I can comment. Let's see if the comments work this time. Let's do the same comment.
There you go.
So,
it worked.
this is what I created in a couple of days with the main functionalities that I found that is the most Instagram functionalities. And I will now show you how I created it. So I'm going to create a new project in Bravo and move this over. I already have, so I know, maybe I can make this bigger. I already have my, this is my Figma file, and I already have my design set up. If I was designing as a part of this demo, it would take hours because since I'm from the designer side, I tend to make everything pixel perfect. I'm sure the designers in this, in the audience can relate. Sometimes you might take 10, 15 minutes just choosing on a shade of color. So I have my screen set up here. I'll just go through each one of them and you can see what it looks like. So here is the main page. Here is the new post page. Here's the comment page. Here is the little model that is to add a new comment. And here is where the story will go. So I'll just go one by one to show you how I plug it in into Bravo and make it work. So as you can see here, it's just the design. It's the placeholder design that I will connect the data and the workflow to. And something I want to point out is the design though, it's already Bravoized. So this means I've set it up so that Bravo can understand your Figma file. You can see, like I mentioned before, if I open up my layers panel, I know it's a bit difficult to see on screen. It's a bit pixelated. And I don't think I can zoom in Figma, but you have these text strings and brackets, and each of them does a different functionality. And to create a new Bravo project, I get the link of my Figma file, go into Bravo, and paste the Figma file. And what it's doing right now is it is changing all your Figma layers into native mobile components and changing any layers that has a Bravo tag into the actual component that you want it to be. And essentially, if let's say you manually created all the content in Figma, and you could, and you manually created all the screens, all the pages, and it's a purely content app that people just need to click through, and you imported it into Bravo, you could publish it as a native app if all the content is there. But of course, this is something that we want to, I guess, reduce the time of, because what we see is when designers prototype and you want to create, for example, this feed with all these lists of comments that's unique to each post. In Figma, what you would do for a prototype is you would need to duplicate every single list of comments and their posts and connect everyone individually. So it's such a time hassle. But with Bravo, you just need to create this one screen, and then you can populate with data. So in my phone, now I have this new demo imported. And you can see that it looks exactly like my Figma design. It's because it's exactly what it is. But then I'll connect the content. So all of my content came from my Airtable. As you can see, I already have some posts ready here to connect. So I just go to, and the workflows are already set up, because like the design, the workflow does take a bit of time to tweak around. But these are the 4 workflows or API requests that I set up to create the final app I just showed you. One is to get the list of feed, get a list of posts. One is to create a new post and send it to my Airtable. Another one is to get a list of comments, and another one is to add comments. So pretty straightforward. So I go back to my Bravo project and click on the screen, and this gets me into data binding mode. So this is where the magic happens, essentially. It connects your UI to the workflow, to the data. So first, step 1, select requests. I will select to get the list of posts. And you can see that Bravo is already recognizing the connection. Then what you see here is exactly your Figma layers. So I go to the post list, which is this. You can see it's the same name. We got your Figma layer will be displayed exactly as it is in Bravo. And it's the frame that encompasses the post that I will populate. So it's pretty much straightforward when you get the concept. You select a UI element and you connect it to the data. So this is the list of posts and I connect it to the list of data. Then I go to image, and I connect to image. Then I go to select caption, and connect to caption. And you can see that on my phone, my app has been populated with the content. So that's the first screen. And the add comments then, or the list of comments that I showed that displays the list of comments, same logic. So the next one I will show you is how do you upload a new post. Go back to my design. I'm just going to copy and paste the design here. And I will link this add icon to this page so that it creates a navigation between this page and this page. And what I want to highlight, although I don't know how clearly you guys can see this now, is that here's where the Bravo tags comes in. So on the top page, on the top level, I have a transition Bravo tag. So it allows it to move from the right side in. Then in this image placeholder, I have an image input field Bravo tag that allows me to upload an image. And then in this text box, I have a text input field Bravo tag, and that turns it automatically into a text input field. So now I have this in my Figma file. Go back to Bravo and update my Bravo project with the Figma. Okay, and then same logic, connect the UI with the workflow. So select requests. So this time I will use the request of upload a post. And then in the UI, what I want to connect is where does the uploaded content go to my Airtable. So for the image, I want it to go into the URL column, the image URL column in my Airtable, which is here, this column. And then the caption, I want it to go into the caption column. And then when I scroll down, you have, it allows to set response action. So what happens if the workflow was successful, or what happens when you hit an error. So all I want to change is this, upon success, I want to go back to my home page, which is the Instagram behavior. And then let's test it out. So going to, if you look into my phone screen, I'll add another post. Let's see. Here's an image, and here's another one. And as you can see, my the image and the text box turned into interactive form fields. And click upload. And here is the uploading functionality added to my app. And like I said, so I won't show the adding a list of comments and adding a new comment because it's the same logic, but just same workflow, different design. And this is essentially how you build an app. You go layer by layer, page by page, functionality by functionality, especially the more complex or the more broad that your app scope will cover. And then, so the last thing that I will show you is how I added the story. Same thing, go back to my design. So you can already see now there is how you work with Bravo. You'll just switch back and forth really between your Figma file, your Bravo Studio that has all the workflows and the requests, and Bravo Vision, which is your phone. I will copy this screen into my Figma. And this is how I normally build an app as well. I go screen by screen, make one screen fully functional, then I start with it, and then I add another screen. That's what we recommend as well. And same thing, I will connect this user icon to the screen. And what this screen has is, let's see, if you could see, if you cannot, basically all it has is a X that has a Bravo tag to close the screen. And then it has a rectangle. And I'm going to update my Bravo project right now to show you what it looks like before I connect the WebView Bravo tag versus afterwards, because it's pretty cool. Okay, so we have it connected, and I'm going to click on the first user profile, and you can see that there is nothing. And then now I will add something. So to display the story that I showed in the first demo, I'm going to use the Bravo tag, and the Bravo tag is a universe in itself. This is in our Help Center, which has the Bravo tags master list, and it contains all the Bravo tags. Today, I'm going to use the WebView component tag, which changes any rectangle into a embedded WebView. And that is how, for example, Pedro connected the Typeform into the bakery app, just with this one tag. So I go back to my Figma and simply just copy and paste this tag into the layer, the rectangle layer. And then, so I'm going to connect, the story that I connected is this Google story from Condé Nast, which displays great on mobile. And put that in the placeholder URL within the tag. Go back to Bravo Studio and update. Now, when I click on the user profile, there we go. Here's now your story. And this can also be connected with a database, but today I showed how you manually do it. And so, with all this, with this logic, you keep building an app. You build screen by screen, functionality by functionality, and when you're done, the best part about Bravo is that it generates publishable app files, so you can upload them directly to Google Play and the App Store. You just need to create a developer account with Google Play and App Store to be able to publish, but otherwise you, once you finish your app, you simply get the files and you're ready to go. And then I guess the last thing to highlight is what is next up in Bravo and what you can expect feature-wise. And I think some of the bigger things are push notification. So that's a huge differentiator between native and web-based apps. The second would be pagination. So that allows, so think very big catalogs. You often have many pages, and or you scroll and it shows click to load more. So that's the functionality to be able to do that rather than having your app load thousands of results at the same time. And the last thing to highlight, of course, we have a lot of smaller features along the way, but another big thing would be to add multiple requests, so multiple workflows to the same app screen. So for example, in this Instagram example, I would be able to connect one request that displays my feed of posts and captions, but another one also to display a list of users and names, or have one page that does different things that connects to different workflows. So again, the combination, once you have that, then the combination gets even bigger of what you can create. So I think that is it for the Bravo Studio demo, and I think I'll let you guys take the lead with the questions or any other comments that you have.
I love it. It's amazing. In 20 minutes, you have created a post, so you can scroll down all the post and see the gallery. It's amazing. Christina, I have one question. Is there any recommendations you can give us about group or sort layers inside Figma in order to work better with them?
There is. Do you want me to send you the link or post the link in the chat?
Yeah, sure. Go ahead.
I would say yes. So in our Bravo Studio Help Center, it has documentations about how you set up your Figma file to, like I said, for Bravo to understand, to Bravorize your Figma file. And there is some, I would say there's some learning to it, in the sense that you have to, after you create a design, you need to sort them in different layers. So the top layer will always be your app frame. The second level will always be a container frame. Let me show you here. You can see that here there's, I know you can't read them, but all of them has the Bravo tag container. And containers, they are building blocks of your app string that Bravo reads, and then it allows each block to do different functionalities. So for example, this is one container, and it allows me to scroll horizontally, whereas this post is another container and allows me to populate the content with data.
Right.
And then the last, and all the layers below are your UI elements. And you can freely group them however you want.
That was amazing. I mean, covering up again, like Mauri said, in 20 to 30 minutes, how an app is built from scratch with the help of Bravo, and turning the Figma design into reality, actually. Yeah, that was unbelievable. I've come across a few no-code tools that help build apps. I've tried myself Glide in the past, and I'm not to mention that the limitation or the caveats of Glide, but it is a pretty fine template. And with Bravo, the possibilities in terms of design are endless. I mean, it's a white canvas, as Pedro said, and yeah, then you build all this interactivity with the Bravo tags. I think that's what they call it, right? So it's simply amazing what you guys just built, and looking forward for the people I don't know if they're still with us, and if they have questions as well. I know there is a lot of information to soak in, but from a no-code maker perspective, I think that was wonderful. So thank you.
Yeah, and I think for this one, I wanted to show more of an extent to what you can create rather than what you can create for your first project. This obviously, it takes a bit of test and trial, so you can, like I said, get into, it's more about the understanding this mindset of the combination of what workflow can I add to what interface elements, what you design. And then, for example, with Glide, even though it's focused on Google Sheets, and it might have its own editor, but it also does have functionalities that we might not have yet. So, and because we are starting out, and as I said, we're building more and more functionalities to widen this the possibilities of your app. So, and so I would say each no-code tool has their own niche that it depends on what your need is. And for me, definitely from a designer's perspective, a designer who wants to who has my own idea of app projects or business ideas with an app, I personally want my interface to look exactly like I want.
Yeah, and unleash that creativity there.
Yeah, exactly. And then the more tools that you find and get to know in this no-code space, the more possibilities that you have. For example, I just discovered Google Story, and when building this one, I was thinking what would be a way to display a story-like functionality, and that
there you go.
Yeah, there we go.
As simple as that. Simple with quotes there. I know it takes time.
Cristina, one more question. How is the process now to publish this application in the stores?
The process from, let's say, from when you finish your app, let's say I'm happy with my app, I'm ready for it to publish for people to use, then you go into your app project page, you go into publish, and
because I think it's a big functionality also for Bravo.
Yeah, for sure. So for Android, you can choose to get the file that you can install directly on your phone. You just click this button and you get it in your email. If you want the publishable version, then you use this form to get the publishable Android file. So that's available for the Google Play Store. For iOS, Apple is always a bit more of a hassle, to put it honestly, than Android and Google. So you have to create your developer account with the App Store. You have to generate a few certificates and files that you need to put into our form, which we have all that documented step by step. So even for a non-developer, you just follow the documentation and you generate those files and you drop these in, and then you get your publishable file. Then you go into the actual App Store and Google Play portal to upload these files, put in your App Store listing info like description, screenshots, etc., etc. And for Google Play, it takes around. It can be very fast. It could take a day or 3 days. For the App Store, it could take up to a week. And I would say Google Play is, it's very hard to get rejected by Google Play, but it's very easy to get rejected by the App Store. But so far, not many people have had problems getting their app rejected. Most of the time, I would say it's the first try and you get accepted. But afterwards, once you have an app published in the App Store, it's a great feeling.
Sounds good.
All right. I don't know if there are any more questions or you have any questions at all in the. I don't see many. I think there is Carla Fernandez who says, looking forward to hearing more about the design package. I don't know if she refers to some like Bravo functionality. And thank you, Carlos, as well. Indeed, there is a huge opportunity in the no-code ecosystem. It's on the rise, as we mentioned earlier. And yeah, the right combination of tools will get you anywhere. So I don't know, Mauri, do you think, should we wrap it up here? If there are any, I don't know, more comments or questions about technical stuff related for Bravo, just write them up, like text or email. Do you wanna share, Christina, maybe like a support email on the chat, or a contact form, something like that, if they wanna hear more about Bravo
Yes.
Studio?
So we recommend that. I guess everyone can see my screen, but I can go straight to it. We recommend going to the Bravo community, which is on Spectrum. There we have our team members and also expert Bravo users who can answer a lot of the questions. Otherwise, we're very responsive by Twitter.
Oh, nice.
So I can post this one.
Yes.
And I believe the Twitter is twitter.com/Bravo.
Yeah. We will be also sending some like URLs and links that are helpful for maybe people that have joined today and they want to pick their brains and explore the no-code possibilities. There are several websites where you could get inspiration from and see what you're capable of building. So we will send that through our newsletter in the next in January. So yeah, subscribe.
Well, my video now. I think that should close.
Cool.
So we've done.
We've done for today.
Thank you very much, Christina. Sorry.
What do you say? Sorry.
Oh, thanks for having us. We're super happy to showcase what Bravo can do.
Awesome. We're grateful that you guys showed up and also display what are the possibilities of Bravo, and I think hopefully the audience enjoyed as well. Yeah. See you guys next time, I guess.
Thank you very much.
We'll let you know in January if we're doing another webinar. But yeah, the show will go on.
The year
Yes.
must finish first.
Yeah. Thank you, everyone.
Okay.
And yeah, see you next time.
See you.
Bye
See
bye.
you, Christina. Bye-bye.
Bye bye. Javier, we close the.
Finished.
We finished the webinar. Bye bye. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, guys. Bye.
Bye.